Welcome back to the project Honda 1983 Honda XL600R. Today we're playing with pool noodles. And what we're hoping to do is get them on the front not because we want to put this on at the moment. I mean, that's nice, you know, the cosmetics, and we got all kinds of new parts and stuff, but because we're trying to do electrical so that we can start this, which would be really cool. But I think I want these on so that I can hook up all the electrical and not have to take them off or worry about putting the tank on and having to turn these sideways. But Dr. Torque here had a concern about the pool noodle.
So, well, the first one I had was, are we going to be able to wrestle this thing around without killing ourselves?
Yeah, as you can see, we have.
Yeah, we don't care about that kind of thing. So, right. A minute ago I said red, 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 blue.
Yes, he raised a serious concern. I knew that was going to happen. He even told me that was going to happen if I gave it to him. But I think, here's what I think. If you take this blue, this is on the forks, this is a pool noodle for the forks. Then we have blue cover for the seat, which we have to put on. And it has, so blue, and then it has white and a white tank because we've got this extended range big old tank on that I put on there, which is plastic instead of the metal. But we'll save the metal. Don't worry, we're not going to throw away the original. But then it would be lots of red, and it would be blue and white and white. I think it works. And then I was like, what's this? This is silver and black. Well, there's black, and there's plenty of silver. Silver all over the place. All right, so as you can see, the bike is in a slightly different spot because we're just not only, it's not just that it's tight over there, it's because we're trying to figure out how to get this thing held up and give us enough room to get the wheel off and then each one of those shocks out. So what we're thinking is this. We're thinking we're going to take the bike, and we got that box back about as far as we can, tilt that back like that, yep, and then just use some string to get up here on my really awesome setup, pulley setup for the kayaks. And then that hopefully will hold this up enough once we take the wheel off to get each of the shocks out, slide the boots on, and then we're done. While we are working, we have a battery. We have really no idea whether it's a good battery or a bad battery, so we threw the charger on here, just at 2 amps, and it was kind of charging and ticking, and now it's almost down to 0, which at first was a concern. Like, we were thinking that might be a dead battery. However, Dr. Torque was like, hey, Uncle Jake, why don't you go get the voltmeter and let's check it without anything on there. And it was really good. It was like 12.43 or something. So I think it's probably a good battery, which is excellent. So now back to this. I just thought you might like to know what we were doing. So we're going to take off this little bolt right here, this little nut, this little bolt. It's a bolt. It's all the same, whatever it is.
What is it?
It's a bolt. It's a fastener.
I'm gonna remove this fastener.
I should just say fastener. Remove this fastener. There we go. And I'd like to put that back in there so we don't lose it. And then we're gonna switch from a 8 to a 12. Remove both of these, and we are not gonna tip the bike over while we're doing this.
I suppose I could get up and hold the bike.
I think you're fine. I'm just gonna.
Man, those are tight.
Yeah, those were a little tight.
The caliper you should be able to slide out and then hang up on the engine or something.
Yeah, let's.
You want to get a zip tie?
Yeah, where's that little zip tie? I don't know what everybody else's problem was. Perfect. See? Okay. Now that's off and we're done. We just admit most of the time, when we don't know for sure what we're doing. But you just have to have courage and you have to go for it sometimes. So what I believe here, I rode bikes all over the place. I lived on them when I was a kid. It's been a tiny bit of time.
Did you ever work on them or did you just ride them?
I mostly rode them, but I took them apart and then sometimes got them back together too as a kid. I like doing it, but I think what we've got here, this runs all the way through and it screws in right there. So I'm gonna have to take this out to get the wheel out. So what I think is that these probably lock this in place, because otherwise what keeps this from spinning? So I'm gonna loosen these And then we're gonna crank that out of the other side and slide it out, and hopefully that's it. Let's find out. That is a number 10. But before we get to that, there's a very important question that I have. Fair to Midland, I've heard it described as in the middle, which is what I always thought it was, but I've also had it described as some ancient, not ancient, but Pony Express route that was between the two towns, Fair and Midland. There's some light, and it was a good route. And so if you got the route between Fair and Midland, you were doing good. But I have no idea. Does anybody know the answer to this? Because I don't.
Answer in the comments.
Yeah, tell us, would you? If anybody smart knows that, I would really love to know. Solve that mystery. Okay, let's crank these babies open, shall we? Pretty tight. It's all getting loosey-goosey. Idea. So this is not working, but it's not a bad safety. It's just that that's twisting up there and giving, maybe if I turn the camera away, it's twisting up there and giving it slack. So I was like, hey, I got these weights over here. What if we just figure out how much weightage we got? So these go up to 52.5, which is right where the weight I was using last time. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was using. Yeah, it's probably Renee was using this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go.
And this is plastic around the edges.
Nope, it's not gonna.
No, it's not gonna.
I seriously doubt here is gonna be
enough.
This does not. Fearless Intermediates, big difference. This looks like it's maybe gonna hold. I mean, what do you think?
And if it all falls and collapses,
well,
everybody will get some entertainment.
And that'll collapse and ruin the kayaks, and it could be awesome. You might have to call 911. This would be the perfect time for my wife to come out and go, what are you guys doing? What? She'll probably just look like she has before. Like when I had the Civic's door off and the wiring harness for the entire vehicle goes through that door. It's about, I'm not exaggerating, it's about that thick. And I had it cut in half. And I was soldering and she just went, and turned around and went the other way. But that was actually a big turning point. Because when I successfully put the door back, with the new wiring harness and soldered it all together. Hey, he's sleeping, but it was cool. We made it. We might have to cut that part out. It might be boring. But it was pretty exciting. Okay, so next step is we got to just wrestle this wheel off carefully. Carefully. That's what this means, by the way? Careful.
Yeah. So.
Oh, doggies.
Now does the speedometer thing come loose?
I hope so. Yes. Yes. That's great. Yes. All right. That's awesome. 12, by the way. These. Okay. Whoa. This is exciting. Hold on. I gotta get the noodle.
So it's probably gonna hit this right here, I think, or not.
I didn't think so. Oh, we need this at the top. Actually, sit that down. I don't want that to be steady. You're doing anything weird. Okay. Are we recording? Yes, good. Just want to make sure. This is
all done.
Little, yeah. All right. So second side. This is great. This is going good.
Going a lot more smoothly than I expected.
That's also good. I'm glad you're paying attention to the big side there, so we didn't put it back on and have that fun.
Have it back together.
Crap!
Yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have sucked. You might notice that there's a wheel back. That's because the camera didn't record this part, but we had some issues. We got obviously the wheels back on. We put this back through, we cranked it in, and that, I noted before, that hole was lined up with that 3 right there. So,
and it's already spaced between the two shocks fairly evenly, and the wheel turns smoothly.
So all indicators
it's all where it's supposed to be.
Seem to be good. Yeah, we just didn't notice that. First time taking this apart since I was a teenager, and I didn't care when I was a teenager.
I'd like to say that I thought it was fine to begin with, and he keeps saying we were worried. I wasn't worried.
Okay, that's true. That's fair enough. I was a little concerned. I wanted to make sure that was. Well, I didn't want to put it back, wrong, and so it was worth taking a moment. So now we just have to put these bolts back on.
Nuts.
And nuts, nuts. Success on that part. Look at it, it even spins. You're welcome, future owner. You are welcome once again.
Right in a wheelie.
Yeah. So we'll tighten those up here, and then we need to get some different hose clamps for this part, because as you say, it goes past where it's supposed to. That's where it's supposed to sit. Looking purty. Let's tighten these clamps up real quick. Might as well slide those down so it's easy, and then we'll move into the wiring, which is very darned exciting.
You're not gonna put the brake back on?
Nah, brakes are for wimps. So next step, now that we've got this on, we also played around a little with the throttle cable. This was kind of sticking, so we just pulled this loose and several times sprayed some WD-40 down there to hopefully just get that lubed up. We straightened out some kinks that were kind of in the line here. It springs back a lot faster now, which was the only concern before. When you let off the throttle, you kind of want it to slow down most of the time. So now that we've done that, we're about ready to try and fire this up. And to do that, we're going to get something in there we just want to make sure everything's working and sparking electrical. So we're not going to use starter fluid because that's a little hard on the engines. As Dr. Torque was reminding me, that's not good. So we were thinking flammable brake fluid, a little more lubricant in there.
Or carburetor cleaner. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. So we're just going to pop that out, spray a little bit in there, put the battery in, which now is definitely, until I touch it, was not doing anything. That thing is pretty much as charged as it's going to get. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It just like cranking amps. It's just like that's a secondary part here, but it's charged. So that's where we're at. So let's kind of we hook the battery up first. You think? Yeah, because we don't want to spray too much in there. But I'm going to take the plug out so it's ready to go. We'll give a little spritz, and then after the spritzing, we'll do a little kicking over. That's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what happens here. So let's keep going. I was wondering how this battery on here with this case is actually pretty simple. It's got a bracket on the top. Oh, it's even got a place for fuses? What fuses are on this?
I don't know.
Well, there's potential fuses.
I mean, fuses to protect the headlight circuit and the blinkers circuit, or
I don't know what this is. There's a place for some sort of a tool that snaps in. But let's take this off and get this mounted in, and then hook up the battery, which I believe is this red one. And I thought this was black, but it's just really dirty. It's green, which is weird. But I guess some green is ground in houses. So I don't know what that is, but there's only, again, one way to find out. So let's get the battery mounted, and should we test this though and see?
How do we test it?
Well, first we look for smoke.
Do you want to hook up the headlight and see if the headlight comes on?
Or the horn? Or turn signals. Oh yeah, there's turn signals.
Do you have the key?
It's in there. So if I hook it up right now and touch it, nothing should happen. Right?
Oh yeah. I thought you had it hooked up.
No. Ready? Oh man. Oh, that was charging stuff. I don't see any smoke.
Where's the horn?
Ah, son of a frickin', that's hot. That is not correct. Holy smokes. Hot. That's why you test stuff. That is not correct.
Well, what could be the other way? Whew.
Is that still hot?
Yeah, it's
Ooh, you smell that? Oh my gosh.
You were trying to let the smoke out.
That's what we did. Oh boy, wow. I'm glad we tested that carefully. It didn't go, well, seems fine. And then until all the hardness started smoking.
Yeah, the key wasn't
on. That burnt. So that is obviously not correct.
That is not the way.
That was not the way. So this is the part where we get to display. You get to see our honesty on this one. I have discovered two problems. One, this is not connected. I don't know if that was grounding out on something. I'm not positive. I don't think it was though, because it was sort of tucked up all in here. But it does make you question some of these and things that I've got to look at. Like there's some shrink tube on there, but it didn't go back far enough to grab the wire. But there was one other problem that I caused. And so I better just say before I chicken out here on this one, I was down, so I looked all the wires up here, right? Checked them all out, and then I came down here, I'm looking, and guess what color that looks like? It's black. But it's not black, it's flipping red. And so I hooked them up backwards because of that. Yeah, that was me. So now I get to hopefully have not caused a problem.
Well, one thing you did discover is that DC doesn't shock you.
Yeah, it doesn't kill you like the movies.
It burns you.
It burns you. Yeah, it heats up. It heats up. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're heating people's nipples. Is it getting hot yet, Mr. Bond? Okay. So I don't have one of these here, these round. So I'm going to try to spread that open and put that back on there and connect it because I don't even know what that's for. But we might as well start out hooking up everything that we can see. So that's what happened there. Let's do it again, only not with the hooked up backwards. Okay, let the comments fly. So I've got this re-crimped, and this is not my favorite setup here, but it's on, and I think everything is plugged in. And it's an old bike, like Tom says, it's 30 years old or whatever, so you got to expect some of this
almost
stuff.
40 years old.
Almost 40. That's old. That's old. You got to give it a little bit, get a little break. That's still going. Ooh, that's not bad. And so now I just want to turn it on and make sure nothing melts my hand again, because I definitely burned my finger. That was silly. So we're going to test that one more time.
Your headlight doesn't appear to have a bulb in it.
No, we were going to test the headlight to see if it worked, but I guess we'll test the horn.
If it works, we
don't even know. Oh so, man, I'm nervous now.
Where's the horn button?
So
right here.
Yeah, beep, horn. Beep. Are you ready for this? I don't know if my fingers are ready for this, but it's the quickest way to tell if it's
Put your finger on there and see if it gets hot on its own.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready?
And then I'll turn the key on after you don't burn it.
Okay, it's on.
Still fine.
Yeah.
Okay, turn the key on.
Okay. That, I heard some clicking.
Still fine.
Yep. Woo! Okay. Everybody around is like, what the heck? Okay, and it's off. Okay. Whew. That's a relief. That's a relief. Okay, I'm just gonna take a moment to enjoy. My finger's not hurt. I didn't melt any wires.
So now you can actually attach that.
Now we can actually attach it without fear. Very much fear.
Less fear.
Unless there's something else loose that grounds out somewhere as we're going in all of this. But, whew, okay. All right, let's hook that up, and then we're getting ready to actually try to crank this thing over. So now that is really pretty cool to get to this moment. Look at that bundle of stuff. Bundle of excitement. It's just turn signals and brakes. Not brakes, but brake lights. You know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna hook that up. That's fired.
Yeah.
And the difference was I didn't use the pressure release.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why?
Well, there's two of them there. I don't know why you'd ever use the one on my hand. We probably burned two.
Yeah, we did, whatever that was. Preparing for success this time. We're gonna let it run a little bit if it goes. So.
Is it in neutral?
Still neutral.
Yep.
If not, I'll hold the brake and do burnout. Now, it didn't run, but it fired. I mean, should I put the choke on?
No.
No? You think so?
That might be all we get.
I'm gonna try it again. Just. No. That probably is all we're gonna get. But that officially ran. You can smell it. Oh, that's a lot to kick this over. Wow. That's really cool.
You know what else is really cool?
What else is really cool? Over there, that guy. Holy smokes. That is successful on the start. I mean, we have spark. It ran for a moment. There's other things we don't know. There's no fuel going through the carburetor, so we don't exactly know if those are in beautiful condition or not. But it has spark. The electrical's on. The battery's been on for a while. We turned that off right now. Off. And no fires since I did it the proper way. So now we have to figure out what's going on with that clutch, I think, before we do anything else. Hopefully the carburetors, they have a rebuild kit in it, we think. So, you know, hopefully that's good. But we don't know the rest. So stay tuned, because next time we're going to dig in, hopefully with some answers to what's going on with that clutch. Because it ain't doing nothing right now. And hopefully it's minor. And then we can put the fuel tank on and all the electrical stuff will still continue to work. And we can ride it. That'd be great. Listen, have yourself a great rest day. Thanks for hanging out. On behalf of Motors Mischief, it's Uncle Jake and Dr. Torque with this beauty right here that someday we hope will run. We're going to take you out with the patent pending fist bump of friendship. Whoop-ow.
Whoop-ow.
Whoop-ow. And check out some other videos. They'll be after the bloopers, if there are any, which there probably will be. They're always bloopers. We never make mistakes. They're on purpose. They're happy little accidents.
We don't make mistakes. We make purposes.
Purposes.
Pick up the camera and go, oh, this is going so easy. And then have, oh, brother.
I thought that was funny. Oh, you're shaking them. Steven, hold the camera steady. Glad we know your name finally so we can address you properly. Okay, I see it going. He's in, he's on. I know what it is. Oh, wait, no, I don't. I was replay. Oh, is this still recording?